Detroit's love guru.
The Art of Relationship show is copywritten. No one is to use any portion of the show without express written consent from myself, Greg Dudzinski, or the Art of Relationships. Thank you. Hey, peace, everybody. Welcome to the Art of Relationship show. I'm your host, as always, Greg Dudzinski, fully licensed professional counselor, Detroit's love guru, relationship sex specialist, and we have a special show, have a special guest. I'm going to let her introduce herself in a bit, and we're going to be talking about Tantric Sex, and you know what? So if you get hot and bothered, you need to step away from the show for a little bit, you know what? Take care of yourself. I get that, okay? So we're going to have fun. Honey, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Honey, the healer on Facebook. I'm a hairstylist in Detroit, Michigan. I'm also started a new business called The Naked Truth, which is to basically help people heal themselves mentally, spiritually, physically through what the planet provides. And Tantric is the one thing that the universe provides us to help heal ourselves and heal our sex life. So that's who I am.
Very cool. And it's awesome. We've been trying to get together and do this show for some time, and it hasn't worked out that way, mostly because it's my fault, my schedule and everything else, okay? So chime in below, people, if you can see the video or see me. Chime in down below the video and throw your maybe your experience. Have you tried Tantric? Have you even researched it? And you know what your experiences are, or what do you want to know about it, okay? And we can definitely expand on this after the show. The show's only a half an hour. So we're going to talk about Tantric, the foundations of it, maybe. Not get too much. Honey and I were talking about the not getting into over-analyzing in the textbook and the history and all that stuff about it. Get more into maybe some practical things that you can use or try, you and your partner. And I'm going to throw Honey's information out after the show, Facebook page, all that stuff where you can find her as well, okay? So, remember, chime in down below, people. So, Tantric, and Honey, you mentioned about healing yourself sexually in your soul. What are your experiences, not personal, unless you want to share about Tantric, and about, you know, what you recommend as far as for healing, and also not only healing the self, but what have you found with Tantric and maybe healing sexually in a relationship?
Well, for one, I feel like emotionally, it helped heal a lot of trauma. Like, damn near immediately, it was like a light that was lit in my life, and like and at the time, like, I had memories of the trauma, but I didn't have the negative connection with it. Like, I didn't have the negative emotion connected to the memory after experiencing Tantra.
Really?
So, like, yeah.
That is awesome. And people know I work with, have worked with a lot of sexual trauma in kids and actually, you know, adults, rape survivors and stuff. How did you separate, I'm putting you on the spot now, how did you separate the negative, the horrific, traumatic experiences? How did Tantric help you separate the two?
Well, I feel like energetically it's such a high vibrational thing that's happening inside of your body. So it's basically like, I don't know if anybody knows what Kundalini is, but some people call it different things, like the Holy Spirit. That's like the most common term for it. But the Kundalini rises in your chakras, and it's like literally healing the trauma that is hidden in your chakras that you may not even remember. And a lot of times we don't have the best sexual experiences because we have a lot of insecurities about ourselves or just bad memories about sex. And it happened like by mistake the first time.
By mistake. Like, it was by mistake. I came and freaking had an orgasm too early. Oops, sorry. No, but I gotta hear, okay, as far as by mistake, I got it. And it's funny how many, when you're more relaxed, and part of Tantric and my, you know, experience and all this stuff, it's about being able to relax relax is huge key to it. And able to, you're not so goal-oriented, sex that you both are worried about, she's coming, he's coming, that type of thing, that you're able to envelop and engulf in the experience and be able to relax into it. And is that what helped you maybe step away from the trauma to be able to relax into the experience and sort of let your body take over, like you said? Kundalini? What?
Kundalini.
Kundalini. Okay.
But I think, well, what happened in my situation, I had just started dating my boyfriend now.
Oh, okay.
And we had known each other for years, but never really talked about, even dating each
little
other.
Hooking up, little
yeah, but we were
knocking boots and all that stuff, right?
We were like extremely attracted to each other, and like just our first time having sex, like it was just hours. It lasted hours, and it wasn't just intercourse. So that just made me relaxed and thinking about nothing. And that's what really Tantra is. It's just having fun and then getting so in tune with each other that you're like basically practicing telepathy. Like you end up knowing what each other wants, and it just ends up going on for hours. And if you go that long, and it's fun. It's like when I say that to people, they're like, "That's who wants to have sex that long?"
Yeah, because
But when you're really attracted to that person and love is involved, it doesn't even seem that long. It's been times I've meditated over 2 hours, 3 hours, and it seemed like 15 minutes.
correct.
It's like you're just gone. You're not there anymore. It's like people call it spiritual sex. I think it's more like healing sexually, spiritually.
And that it's
Yeah.
a great, and I love that. Spiritual sex, tantric, and all this stuff. It's about being in. A lot of times, a lot of people get so focused on the other one. A lot of people pleasers, givers, that they're always worried about maybe pleasing their partner, and the focus is outside of them. And with tantric, it's also about focusing on you, your own sensations. And it's weird that you're so together, but you're also separated because you're focused on your own experiences at the same time as your partner. And there's not that pressure of performance. There's not that pressure of, oh my God, I got to make her come, or I got to make her come, or well, let's face it, hopefully I don't come that quick, let's face it. So when you're talking about 2 hours, I'm like, holy shit, that'd be like a record for me. But versus like 20 seconds. But no, but in the tantric aspect, and there's so much, it's weird because you don't have to really study that much of it. And we were talking about this before the show. A lot of people, it's practice. It's about being comfortable with yourself. And a lot of people, if you have like body image aspects, insecurities, guys, same thing, body image, am I big enough? Am I all this? And you get that focus off of that, and you focus, what Tantric does is get you the focus on yourselves and what you're feeling and the experience as a whole. And as you said, honey, about being able to read each other, that you feel each other's energy without even thinking about it. It's like a reflex, right? Yeah, it's cool.
It's like, I don't want to say it's like meditation. Once you start studying what Tantra is, it makes you do like yoga and meditation before the actual acts, which is basically clearing your mind of all the crap that's in it so that you can practice. But while you're doing it, it's still like you're in a meditative state where none of the regular stuff that's on your mind is even on your mind. And like once you experience like those moments of peace, you want more moments of peace like that just in life, not just sexually. And like just with people I know that's experienced it, like people don't want to cheat anymore. They want that love from that one person. You can literally, especially like men that deal with erectile dysfunction, with the energy stimulation down there, you can heal your erectile dysfunction. It's a whole, like you can heal from everything.
And it was funny because we're talking about this, and I was talking about, it's called, one part of Tantric or an exercise or something to try is for men, they think, oh, I'm not hard I can't have sex. And we all know, there's oral sex, there's, manual sex, fingers, toes. Well, yeah, you can use toes. If you want to use toes, that type of thing. Toys, there we go. And to be able to, look at that, but a lot of men, okay, and women even, if my man is not hard, there's no way we can have sex. And I talk about people, there's something that's called soft penetration. And, people might be watching the show, what the soft penetration? What the hell? How is that possible? And there's a way that the woman can guide the penis in, even if it's soft. It takes practice, to put it in, to guide the penis, even if it's the head inside the vagina a little bit, and guide that in, and how that can help in the energy that Honey was talking about. That energy of the vaginal energy force can help cause the penis to come alive and to, become erect. And we all know that there are different aspects, and I'm going to make this, there are medical conditions, there's high blood pressure medications that can, diabetes, other injuries, prostate injuries, or, prostate cancer that can inhibit an erection. And if there's a medical complication, you need to get that taken care of. But there's, it takes away the performance anxiety, if you will, for men. Oh, I got to be hard. I got to be before I can do anything. And with the soft penetration, it can, it can help with that. And you're just experiencing holding each other, like Honey said about, it's a spiritual connection about it. And you're not so focused on the end game about, the orgasm, if you will. And with you, what are your meaning of, and I know with Tantric it talks about the positive and negative poles. What are your experiences, or could you tell people what those are? Like a male's positive, a female's positive, and they can be opposites, right? Can you explain what those are?
Well, while you're having the intercourse with the negative poles, like energetically, you're sharing those energies. Right.
And with a lot of people realize the male's positive pole, this might sound bad talking about a pole, right? It says penis, right? The cock. And a woman's tends to be, everyone, her vagina is the positive pole equal to the man. No, it's not. It's more her breast and her chest. And you saw Honey sort of do a loop, almost like a feedback loop, and how you can intertwine those aspects and balance those. And men need to understand, like the breast and the chest region are the woman's positive energy poles at first. And the women, yeah, let's face it, the men's penis is the positive pole or positive energy. And, what do you do to balance those? And how do you sort of, no pun intended, come to life together, recognizing those energy poles and how they work together and not with each other? And think about it. It's not that much different than a lot of guys just grabbing the woman's crotch and sticking it in, thinking she's ready to go, horny because he's hard. No, it's about warming up. And if you have that concentration about, the breasts and the foreplay and the sensuality of it and the spiritualness, and I'm not talking religion, I'm talking the soulfulness and spiritual aspects of Tantric, it can help bring you guys even closer together. And it's not necessarily on the physical level, which is great, but it's, as Honey mentioned numerous times, it's the soulfulness, it's the spiritual connection that you both feel, and that coming together, again, no pun intended, coming together sort of experiences what, Tantric is all about. And you know what? Would you be able to, practice it? Would you be able to, hey, are you uneasy? What would you recommend about people even bringing it up to their partner? Hey, I want to try this. I want to try this maneuver. I want to try Tantric. Everybody's heard about it, but a lot of people don't know the essence of what it is. Right?
Well, yeah. The way I introduced it to my boyfriend, like,
he didn't introduce it to you, huh?
Well, we experienced it that first time. We both didn't know what that was.
Really? That's what you said, by accident, right?
Yeah, like, okay. What was that? But the way I introduced it to him was I just bought him a book off Amazon, and eventually he read it.
Oh, hilarious.
But I think the best way to first start practicing it is practicing self-love, like meditating by yourself once a day. That's how you start to find...
Hold on. When you say meditation once a day, are you talking like practicing self-love as in like masturbation?
You could definitely... Masturbation is like a form of meditation.
And that's true, right? I'm all for that. Mm-hmm. And if people did not notice it, and I know the camera might be a little whacked, when Honey mentioned that, and I'm putting her on the spot, you should have saw her eyes sort of roll back in her head when I mentioned about masturbation, and she was like, oh, yes. And looking at that, the energy and self-love is huge. And, you know, can Tantric help people with, you know, self-love? And it's very difficult if you can't get out of your own mind because of insecurities, past trauma, as Honey mentioned. Mm-hmm. You know, body image aspects, or, you know, sex. Is it all about giving or somebody's taking from you? And self-love through masturbation can help that. And the meditation, I agree. I think masturbation is a form of meditation if you think about it. Mm-hmm. And self-love, and what gets in the way of you know what, practicing self-love and being comfortable sexually with your own body, and getting rid of the stigmas and getting rid of the insecurities about body image, about all those aspects. And through the relaxation aspect, meditation and Tantric can help people do that. Mm-hmm. And have you talked about it with your friends?
I've talked about it for years with my clients. Like, this type of stuff is a huge issue in relationships.
Yes.
Like, a lot of people are not happy sexually in relationships.
Why do you think that is? Your view on that?
Because of each person's insecurities, because of one person probably cheating, and then that person's cheating because they don't really love themselves, so they look for love outside. Like, you could be the perfect partner and that person still cheats, but they look for love outside of, with other people. But yeah, I've given people little pointers throughout the years and have saved their marriages just with little stuff like this.
Hey, don't take business away from me, damn it. No. But I agree, and it's funny when, couples coming in with sexual challenges, a lot of them, it's funny. It's not necessarily the physical. And you heard Honey talk about not feeling loved, not feeling appreciated, not feeling desired. That's part of it. But those are emotional feelings. Those are emotional expressions that we all want to feel, and that tends to be, a lot of people why they cheat. And I've done numerous shows and episodes on cheating. I mean, let's face it, most of what I work with are couples. One of them cheated, they both cheated. And looking at, the essence, is it just about sex, or is it the whole soulful experience about feeling connected on a deeper level? And some people, a lot of people do cheat because they're not feeling loved, they're not feeling connected. And some people we could get into, about getting your ego propped, right? They're attention whores, if you will, male, females, it doesn't matter. And, what would it take to love yourself? Honey mentioned this. And where is that need, that you need that constant attention from other people, that you always got to feel alive? And are you looking for outside, or what do you do? And I think Tantra can help big time to look within inside yourself for that self-love, the self-relaxation, and you're not so focused on other people. A guy wants all these women to be, to please him and get the ego prop. You have a lot of women that want all these guys to shoo you all over the place and give you attention. And Tantra can help you with that self-love where you don't need that, as Honey said, and you can share that with each other, so you don't need those outside people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Make sense?
Most of it is, we can talk about it all day, you could read about it all day, but the things that we're describing is indescribable when you actually feel it. I've done tons of research on how this stuff feels, and it's most people are like,
you don't know how it feels, right?
I can't tell you how it feels, but definitely outside of this world.
It's very subjective, and it might feel different to everybody. And one thing they talk about when I call it the feedback loop, if you will, about the energy force. Maybe that's a better term for it. Energy force, as far as the positive poles between the male and female, and when they come together, and the penis actually feels the vagina being alive. It's like an energy buzz. I don't want to say like bumblebees, because people will be afraid and get freaking stung on their dick or something. I don't want that. But it's like an energy that a lot of people don't experience it because they can't relax into it. Mm-hmm. And they feel with Tantric that another thing, sex is something, and I talk with clients about this too. Sex is not something that you do, okay? Everybody that focuses something you do. I make you come, I do this, I thrust, I do this. Where Tantric is more of what you experience and how do you experience it together. And a lot of people, it takes a lot of practice that they don't have to, you enjoy each other and you don't have to worry about thrusting and doing all this stuff, and you just feed off of each other's energy and you're not focused on the doing. And that sounds so foreign to a lot of people. And have you talked about that with your clients, with people, about the getting away from the doing all the time, the task-oriented sex?
I think, especially people that love porn, that all just destroys.
Don't bash.
Tantra.
Don't bash. No. There's a lot of women that love porn too, right?
I mean, it's cool. I'm not bashing it. I used to watch it all the time, but you might learn some pointers on there.
Yeah, we all know it's fake, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, the professional porn is, right? Amateur porn, you might pick up some pointers and everything else.
But I feel like that just lowers your vibrations or lowers your ideas about what sex should be. And even like being raised in America, everybody that's raised here is majority taught that sex is, private.
Right, absolutely.
It's like down here, but sex should be like at the top of the list.
I agree. It's part of life. It's part of enjoyment. Yeah. Why does it feel so good, right?
And even like you were talking about men that have erectile dysfunction, just by him playing more or even just holding her while he's in there soft, like that's when the energy starts circulating through them, and it's just awesome. You should try it. Well stated.
And there's books on Tantric, and do you have any off the top of your, and I should have had you bring, there's one that, go ahead if you want to, that you really like.
The name of it, I'm going to end up posting a picture of it. That I have.
Oh, okay, cool. We'll have Honey post it. And there's one that, there's a couple I like, but give me a minute and I'll try to pull them up. Or what I'll do, you know what, forget about that. What I'll do, I will post book recommendations, and then Honey can share them, and I'll post her recommendations too. They might be the same book or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I'll post them a little bit after the show to give you some insights. And the ones I like, they're easy read, they're not mechanical, they're not so much about
the history.
Yeah, the history, all that. It gets to the point, and I like them. They're easy reads. It can help, okay, and really get a better perspective on what Tantra is all about. And it's not something you do, it's more of an experience. And a lot of people, they don't have the knowledge. And I think a lot of people, when they hear Tantric or Tantra, they get scared, they get spooked. Mm-hmm. And it's about, oh my God, I have to be flexible, I have to be a gymnast, I have to be, Hercules, that type of stuff to enjoy. And it's totally so opposite of that, that you can be comfortable in your own body, how you are, and you don't have to be that gymnast, muscle-bound dude. It takes away from all that. Mm-hmm. Makes sense?
You can experience Tantra without penetration. You can do it through the couples meditations that they have in those books. Like the book, I don't know if it's called the Tantra Bible, but I feel like it is.
Yeah, I get that. We'll share those. We'll share those later. We'll share them later, okay? And it's ironic you touched about it, and it's funny. Women can have an orgasm, right, with their breasts and nipples being caressed, played with, right? There's no penetration, right? Women can have an orgasm mentally. There's women that has attuned to themselves so much they don't touch their vagina, nothing, that they can give themselves an orgasm just by thinking and mentally and meditating, if you will, towards the energy flow of that. And a lot of people look at, we got to have penetration. Most women don't have orgasms through penetrative sex, people. And this can help with that and release the pressures of the performance, of the doing. Sound good?
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, honey, I want to thank you for joining the show. We'll have you on again. We'll talk more about, get more in depth about Tantra, easy way, but we'll share the books and everything, recommendations in a bit. Give people your information again, where they can find you on Facebook, wherever.
Well, I'm on Facebook and Instagram. So on Facebook, I am Honey the Healer. That's like my personal page. And then there is The Naked Truth. That is my business page where you can find, I make crystal jewelry, sage, all type of good things for your physical and mental healing. You can actually use sage during Tantra. It heightens your sexual moods.
Ooh, baby.
And there is on Instagram, Official Naked Truth. Cool.
And I'll share all her information as well. She'll text it to me and I'll share it as well. Thank you for Honey, the Healer, for joining me. This is the Art of Relationship show. You can catch it every Tuesday, well, most every Tuesday and Thursday, 12 noon Eastern time. Make sure you share it, people. I want to help as many people out there as possible. Of course, have the relationship they crave. And as you know, not only the relationship they crave, but the relationship they crave with themselves. As people know, I'm all about self-love. Honey and I just talked about it. Self-love, self-respect is so crucial, and it's so difficult for a lot of people to hold on to and find and to be able to practice, okay? Again, check out my website, theartofrelationships.org. Everybody, peace, goodbye, take care, people. Bye-bye.